Walk, 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 nonstop. Electronic sounds pounded Courtney's Moore's ears as she leaned into the Pac-Man game she was playing. Walk, 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 walk. Pac-Man munched through the string of tiny dots on the screen and two bright red cherries in the middle of the glowing maze. Courtney tucked a loose curl into her scrunchie without letting up on the joystick. She had been playing for nearly an hour. Her feet were sore, her eyes starting to swim. She couldn't take a break now. No way if she cleared this round. She had to get to level 9. Pac-Man, first time ever. Watch out, yelled Courtney's friend Kip Tamashutu. Besides her pointing to Inky, the greenish blue ghost that was heading right for Pac-Man, Courtney slammed the joystick right up and jogging Inky and zipped through the game's maze. On the run, Kip pushed his floppy hair out of his face and eyes. Glued to Pac-Man's every move, the power pelted. You're right, he shouted. Courtney throttled right, seeing it, but as she did, blinky red ghosts came out of nowhere. Don't panic, she told herself, swerving left to avoid Blinky. This always happens on level 8. This always happens on level 8, Kip said. I know, Courtney replied, eyeing a large dot and a few turns away from the maze. I just need to get to that power palette. Kip nodded. He understood her strategy. Once the power palette, the ghosts would all turn dark blue. The Pac-Man could eat them, gobbling up points. You're almost done, Kip whispered. Exactly. Courtney smiled, her eyes fixed on the screen. Pac-Man was Courtney's favorite game, and Smiley's Arcade in the Orange Valley Mall was her favorite place to play. The games were brighter and louder here than on her TV at home. And being in a crowd of kids, all trying to beat their high score, felt exhilarating, like swimming in a crashing sea of flashing light, and electronic sound effects. You're gonna get eaten, Kip yelled, jolting Courtney out of her mid-trance. A trio of ghosts were almost on top of Pac-Man. Courtney yanked the joystick left, and the Pac-Man munched down flashing power palette in a flash. The ghost turned dark blue. Courtney changed direction so that Pac-Man could crunch them up. As the ghosts disappeared, their point values flew up on the screen, where they added to the game total. The high score ever, Courtney whooped as the screen lit up an electronic cascade of colors. Courtney high-fived Kip, pride in surging through her. Neither of them had ever reached level 9 before. Courtney, someone called sharply. Courtney! Someone called sharply. Courtney knew without looking sure enough. She swiveled around. There was her stepsister Tina, arms crossed, side ponytail bobbing impatiently. Time to go, Tina said, pointing to the giant digital clock in the arcade entrance. 5 more minutes, Courtney pleaded. Just bet my high score. So Tina said, looking baffled. Before Courtney could reply, Pac-Man flashed, signaling the start of level 9. Courtney whirled back to the screen. Can't talk, must play, she yelped, rattling the joystick, breaking series of moves. Tina put her hand on her hip. We need to go, like now, she said. We're meeting my dad at 5:30. 1 second, Courtney replied, swishing Pac-Man's direction. Before she could make the next move, Tina leaned in front of the game screen. What are you doing? Courtney shouted. Tina's dark eyes scrutinized Courtney's hair. Is that my scrunchie? She said accusingly, eyeing the bright pink band on top of Courtney's head. I couldn't find mine this morning, Courtney explained, daubing both Tina and two ghosts covering on Pac-Man. This one was in the bathroom. Courtney kept her eyes glued to the screen. Tina was the queen of scrunchies. She had at least 20 organized neatly in a rainbow order on her side of the dresser. There was always a few more than the counter in the shared bathroom. Was it so wrong for Courtney to borrow one of when Tina had so many? Yes, not without her permission. I just got the scrunchie for Christmas. Give it back, Tina said, blocking the entire screen. Get out of the way, Courtney shouted. It was too late. Letting the sad electronic music sounds when Pac-Man died. Pac-Man yellowed circle body split open like a banana. Peel disappeared after Blinky gobbled him up. Courtney yelled in frustration as those words in the game over flashed on the screen. Oh no, Tina said, not sounding sad at all. I guess now we can go. Hurry up, Tina called over to her shoulder as she sashayed past stores along the mall's second level. Courtney hustled up next to her. I'm hurrying, she said, looking at her watch. It's only 5:22. Anyway, I definitely had time to beat the last level. Courtney turned to look at Tina, but Tina wasn't beside her. Her stepsister had stopped window shop at the Gap. As usual, when Tina became interested in something new, conveniently forgot that they were on schedule. Courtney swallowed her frustration. Officially, she had Tina were all at the mall together. When they met was that Courtney hung out at the arcade while Tina prowled the mall, drank soda in the food court with her friends. It hadn't always been like this when they first met. Courtney was 5 and Tina was 9. They liked doing stuff together. They rode bikes, traded stickers, and swam in the pool together in Tina's backyard. Tina even played My Little Pony with Courtney when Courtney's mom and Tina's dad got married. Felt like she had a sister. Things started to change when their little brother was born. Courtney moved into the room Tina had since she was a baby. Tina did not like sharing a room, as she complained to Courtney. Was messy. She got irritated, but sometimes when one of the most favorite songs came on the radio, Tina would start dancing and insist that Courtney and join in the country. Felt like there were two Tinas, an angry Tina and fun Tina. Courtney never quite knew which one she was going to get. Come on, Courtney called. But now Tina was talking to someone and ignoring Courtney, so Courtney headed for the escalator without her. Courtney's stepdad stored DeMaloco's electronics was on the third level. When she reached into the store, Courtney's front window, Mike was behind the counter, chatting with a lanky young man in the store with t-shirt. When Courtney entered a moment later, the girl she had been talking outside to the Gap. Kiddos, Mike greeted them. This is Ben, the new assistant manager, he said, gesturing to the young man. Ben, these are my daughters, Tina and Courtney. Wait, is this your sister? Tina's friend said as Mike went up to help a customer. I wouldn't have guessed you look so different. We're not real sisters, Tina said. Courtney's my stepsister. Courtney blinked in a surprise, her cheeks stinging with embarrassment. She looked away so that Tina wouldn't see how much her comment had hurt her feelings. Mike came back to the counter. Okay, kiddos, he said cheerfully. Since you're still on Christmas break, I thought we would have a movie night. Check out what I picked up at the video store at lunch. He pulled out 2 VHS tapes from behind the counter. Courtney brightened. Goonies was her favorite movie. Nerd flick, Tina mumbled. Her friend laughed. I've heard that, Mike said. I'm not a nerd. He winked at Courtney. For you with different taste, how about he slowly rebelled the second tape. Tina smiled. Footloose. Thanks, Dad. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.